the mighty iPhone 13 versus Nothing Phone 1. The usual leader about fantastic image processing against the new kid on the block. Which of these phones has the better camera setup? Let's inspect. Hey fellows, I'm so glad to welcome you on the channel. We inspect so much cool tech here, and this time it's about having these so similarly looking phones in a battle to show which one has the edge about photo and video quality. We're gonna have a bunch of rounds, we're gonna take pictures and recordings both in daytime and nighttime, and you're even gonna have the chance to judge by yourself about some of the categories. Watching this video on a big screen is preferable so that you can notice all the small details, but even if your phone or tablet is the maximum you can currently count on, no worries, I have you covered and we'll make sure to highlight the areas that matter. We start with the main cameras. If hardware is what you want to know about, IMX603 inside iPhone 13 with pixel size of 1.70 micrometers and f/1.6 aperture. Nothing Phone 1 utilizes the IMX766 with f/1.9 aperture and 1 micrometer pixel size. Theory so far leans towards the iPhone being better in low light conditions, but giving the edge to Nothing Phone 1 in terms of details in daytime. Here's our first sample. Two very similar looking photos, and I think both of them are correctly exposed. They have both good colors and quite many details. If we have a closer look, the dynamic range is better on the iPhone side, and if we go for a quadruple zoom, seems like the iPhone has preserved details a lot better. Notice the curtains and the bricks. A masterful job by the iPhone 13. The next example is even closer, so sharp and vivid. The sky looks more realistic on the right-hand side of the screen, and this is the photo taken by Nothing Phone 1. But again, when we zoom in, the iPhone 13's photo seems to have some more details. I can keep on going. The more we explore, the easier you're gonna agree that Apple has tuned their camera to perfection and the dynamic range is crazy good. In low-light conditions, well, this is the big surprise I didn't see coming. Nothing Phone 1 uses more contrast, but the photo is sharper and looks like the larger image sensor inside is better about preserving more details in this environment. We'll give the iPhone 13 one more chance for redemption, but my conclusion is that in low light, Nothing Phone 1 is actually better about preserving more details and handling city lights. Remarkable. We'll carry on using the main cameras. Video, 4K 30 frames per second. So much better colors on the right, but the image is stuttery because of dropped frames. Despite the fact video footage looks stellar on the Nothing Phone, in this round we're selecting iPhone being the winner. It has the much better image stabilization because of the a lot more advanced sensor shift OIS technology inside. This happens to be the exact reason why low light performance is also so much better and in favor of the iPhone. Just amazing how stable the footage is, and there's almost zero jittering and blurring or jumping as it is with the Nothing Phone's captured footage. Since we're using the main cameras, let's carry on and compare some portraits. Both images seem to be on par. iPhone slightly leans towards magenta and the photo looks oversaturated. It's very social media friendly styled. Nothing Phone 1, on the other hand, shows the better white balance and presents very nice and soft bokeh. Smartphones are getting so powerful these days that some people may get tricked that these photos are actually taken with a full-frame camera. I need to underline that the iPhone has been a lot more consistent about portraits, and I've noticed Nothing Phone 1's AI to crack many times in the background. This is why my conclusion is that iPhone 13 has the much better capabilities and post-processing for portrait pictures. The last main camera mode to try out is about slow motion. Beautiful! One of my favorite ways to capture dynamic moments. 4 times slower than usual, there's greater amount of details on the video captured with iPhone 13. Looks like up until now, from all the different photo and video modes, iPhone is the much better choice with exception for nighttime photos where Nothing Phone 1 was surprisingly better. It also makes good sense to check the macro photography. Just want to stress out that none of these phones is great about taking macros, but from most samples collected, including this one, I would choose the iPhone 13 for that purpose. Switching now to the ultra-wide cameras. Different hardware being used in both. Apple use here a 12-megapixel sensor with 120-degree field of view, while Nothing have implemented a 114-degree ultra-wide lens backed by another 50-megapixel sensor. I was expecting another victory for the iPhone, but looks like Nothing Phone 1's setup can extract slightly more details out of this scene. The nighttime captured samples just confirm that a startup phone can be better in some ways than an iPhone. You can see the texture of the tiles, the signs and the lights, which are so much clearer, and that makes me want to check the video side. We know already that the image sensor inside Nothing Phone 1 is larger and better, but why does the footage look so choppy and unbalanced? The bionic chip inside iPhone 13 is the main reason why the video captured with it is so much better. Similar is the situation at dark. Kudos to the iPhone software team for achieving that good video performance, no matter how much light is available. One more camera left to be tested: selfies. Growing importance, and doesn't matter a bright day or a very dark night, if you want better selfies, iPhone 13 will provide the better ones when compared to Nothing Phone 1. Testing the selfie camera, low light conditions, and also trying out the microphone quality of both smartphones. Right now the iPhone looks a bit more yellowish, but much more stable image. While Nothing Phone 1, I'm not quite sure how the stabilization works, so it would be interesting to hear from you. Which of both images do you prefer, and which of both phones has the better audio quality? Before we wrap up, just to remind you that all the samples and even more photos you can download from the link placed in the video description area, so that you can see by yourself that I'm not tweaking, masking or hiding anything. All the samples have been cherry-picked among many photos and videos I've done as a preparation, and the results are very clear about it. iPhone 13 may not be the smartphone with the best camera setup out there, but is clearly superior to Nothing Phone 1 in almost every aspect except for low-light photos and the ultra-wide camera photos. Concerning videos, the iPhone is in its own league thanks to the Sensor Shift OIS technology and the much more powerful bionic chip inside. So I guess that the almost twice higher price is well worth it, especially if consistent camera performance is your priority. On the other hand, the rather budget-friendlier Nothing Phone 1, despite its almost incapable Snapdragon 778 Plus system on a chip, can show muscles in some areas, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of good software updates to bring small yet meaningful improvements and keep you even happier using this design masterpiece. So thank you very much for watching this comparison video between iPhone 13 and Nothing Phone 1. I hope it is helpful, and in case of any questions related to both products, I'd love to step in and help in the comments below the video, where I'm also encouraging you to share with me which of both phones you prefer about photos and videos and why. So that's been all for today. My name is Michael, wishes for a lovely day, keep it safe, come back here soon, bye!